Hello and welcome back. After some technical difficulties and some setting changes, as well as setting the grid, we are in the warm-up, and we've been joined by Brenton Foley, who will be he'll be talking us through a lap of this Velopark circuit. So as you can see, he's in the brand new Toyota Corolla, Farcanel Racing, Paisley edition. Looks much nicer than what team boss Matt Williams wanted. So Brenton, what can you tell us? Obviously, that first race and just some difficult points of this track as you leave the pits at the moment.
Uh, Most difficult point is obviously turn one, in my opinion, and I think it's turn four onto the back straight. If you don't set up your run properly on that, you can absolutely kill your top speed on the back straight, which leads into a really important passing zone.
Yeah, we did see through this,
Just
obviously,
here,
right. Yeah, this
yeah.
little right-left chicane. We
So
did
just
see,
run right on cold tires.
and perfect demonstration. We did see, obviously, people get the right and the left slightly wrong, and that obviously gave them bad runs, and they lost positions out of it. Even the chicane, very easy to outbrake yourself. We saw that quite often. All right,
And
so
very easy to get a curb strike.
yeah, as is. All right, so we'll let you go now, and you'll talk us through this Velopark circuit.
Alright, so coming onto the main straight now. Normally just pull fifth almost just before the braking zone, 150 meters before the chicane. Going down to fourth. Try not to grab too much curb, otherwise it can put you in the fence or put you sideways. Back down to second. Some people hold third here. I like second. Some people also stayed second here, but I go to third just before. Hold third all the way through this. This corner is all about setting yourself up for this corner right here, turn four, onto the back straight. Your aim is to keep it flat, down, so you can get top speed up the back straight. Should get to fifth gear if I've got a decent run, and then straight back down a second for the chicane. Which I've run a little bit wide now, brake myself. Make sure you don't go over the curbs and trigger a curb strike. Back down to first for the last corner. You want to get on the gas as soon as possible to get a good run back onto the.
And there we go. That is a lap of the Velopark circuit. We'd like to thank Brenton Foley for his time. And Brenton, we wish you all the best. Hopefully you finish this one.
Yeah. Last one I turned in. I reckon I turned into the first corner about half a meter too early. Jumped over the curb, got on two wheels, and just couldn't stop it from running into the fence.
Well, hopefully we don't see a repeat of that, and hopefully we see obviously that make your way to the front of the field in that well, probably one of the better looking cars we have at Automobilista Australia. So we wish you the best, and we'll be ticking this over in about 30 seconds time for you.
Thanks very much.
Good luck. And there it is, a lap with one of our members, Brenton Foley. Obviously he had a rough run in the race, but P3, I believe it was, in qualifying. Cameron currently fastest in the warm-up session. Obviously the track has lost some of its rubber, and the pace, because of obviously less rubber on the circuit, has slowed the circuit down. So 58.8, currently fastest. Brenton Foley with his lap that he's kindly talk to us about, or talk us through. 8/10 behind. So we've had 5 minutes. The grid has been reset. Okay, so here we are. I believe that is the correct order. Obviously, you've got Cameron down there in last. He has to start from the pit lane. Big Dog down there in 15th. Obviously, he did have a DNF, so the order might be a little jumbled. But he would be starting back there anyway because he did DNF. As we see the cars starting to form up on the grid. So we'll just go through the grid. Obviously, Loose Sim Sport Academy Glenn Miles will be looking to be a little bit more consistent in this race. Unfortunately, wasn't able to help him as much during practice as I could. All I was able to do was manage to send him a setup with 5 minutes remaining. So hopefully he's got a bit more of a handle on things and he's able to just run a clean race. I think that's what these guys at the front will be hoping for. So I'm going to have to get through these positions quickly, being a short lap. So we've got Glenn Miles, Dwayne Davies, P2, because he did finish. Roadhog, he's in P3. Gary Neville, Loose Sim Sport, he'll be hoping to obviously be a bit cleaner this time around. P4. David Keane, P5. Luke Joyner, 6th. Aussie, 7th position. Brendan Ross in the pits. Tracker, 9th. Jaden Draper, who recovered well in the first race, but mistakes towards the end of the race cost him a little bit. He's P10. Brenton Foley will be hoping to not bin it. He's a bit higher up in the grid than what he should be, so something's gone awry there, unfortunately. Topher, 12th. Matt Williams, 13th. Matt Devine, 14th. Big Dog, 15th. Johnny, 16th. Mike Coulston, 17th. Corey Ott, after winning race 1, is in 18th position. And we've got Cameron at the back. Okay, so Glenn Miles. It's the final turn, as we see with the Toyota. It's a Roadhog going off the road there. About ready for a start here. And we are away. On 3, 4 wide at the back. One of the Toyotas has clipped the wall. Oh, we've got a couple cars off. I don't know if that's Topher or Luke over there. If the cruisers are the same. It's 3 wide. Luke turn 3. So Dwayne Davies leads the field. He has got pace in that thing, so he's just got to keep it on the black stuff this time. We've got Gary Neville, 2nd. Roadhog, 3rd position. David Keane's moved up 1 spot, while Glenn Miles hasn't had a good start. He's down in P5. Joyner, and we've got Draper and Devine. Draper moving quite aggressively over. He's moved twice there. That might be a penalty. And Matt Williams is going to go around the outside. And he's done it. He's gone around the outside into the chicane, but he's been bopped by Matt Devine and taken the position. And that's Corey. Is that Corey? Yeah, no, it's Johnny. Johnny's moved up to 9th place. He's had a fantastic start up, 7 spots. And with 3, well, it looked like he's going to go 3 wide there for a moment. Oh, we are going 3 wide at the back. No one's around, thankfully. Oh, a couple have hit the sleeping policeman. Miles 4th. Oh, we've got Devine and Foley side by side. Foley trying to hold on as best he can. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide down the back straight here. And Foley's going to move up. He's going to move up, but he's got 2 angry Toyotas behind him. Roadhog. Oh, Glenn Miles outbreaks himself, unfortunately. Johnny's up now in P6 as John gets all kind of sideways. Devine cuts the chicane. It's all happening. Roadhog now right behind Foley. So we've got Dwayne Davies. He's sort of stretching his lead, and he's going to have to with obviously Johnny having a great start. And Foley also showing he's got a bit of speed around here as well. But he's currently holding up Roadhog a little bit. We've got Neville now. He'll be trying to, well, I think avoid getting run into. He's got a yellow flag in the first sector. Hopefully no one's DNF'd. Oh, we've got Glenn Miles, unfortunately, has gone around the first chicane, as has Luke Joyner. He's lost positions. And Ross, he's recovered, obviously, pit lane start. So we've got Davies up front, and we've got Foley side by side with Gary Neville going into the back straight chicane, and he's got the position, and Neville gets a bit of a touch, and oh, Johnny, I don't know if there was contact that made him lose it, but he's made a slight mistake, and that's cost him a couple of positions. We've got Corey Ott now, he's up 11 spots into 7th, so right on board with him. He is just behind Matt Devine, who Matt Devine himself is looking on the inside at the first chicane of looking to pass Gary Neville. Neville takes it easy into the first chicane, or Ott tries to go around the outside there, and he gets it done, very aggressive. See, there is a bit of a difference between skill level between the two. Gary Neville finding the ropes, but he kept it clean there, he's kept it going, and that's what he's got to do here. Now I've got Johnny and Corey. It's going to be interesting. They're both fairly quick in that first race, and they're now both on track. As Johnny goes around the outside, will he pull it up? Will he pull it up? That might be... I don't know if he got a track cut for that. But it was a little bit dubious, I have to say. He did go off the track to overtake him there. Foley faster than that, 58.5 on that last lap, 58.8 for Devine. Johnny, he did cut the track, so that might be a post-race penalty there, should he not redress that position. Dwayne Davies got a commanding 7-second lead. David Keane, P2, doing a good job. Foley, he'll be looking to get up to P2 as we see Roadhog run wide. Johnny, Corey Ott still battling away. So right on board Corey Ott once again. A lot of curb usage from Johnny there. Good final sector there from Corey Ott, and it's given him a good run, but he's not quite close enough going into that first chicane to pass. It's Corey Ott himself. There it is, Corey Ott, fastest lap of the race, and that all looked like it was in that last sector there. Very smooth. So you see multiple cars there lock up in front there. It's like Foley and Roadhog to turn 3. Ott has got a good run through the sweepers here. Can he get the good exit for the back straight? Both run wide. No, not quite good enough. Johnny's got that slightly better exit. And now we've got a 4-car battle there. Roadhog, the 2 Toyotas and the 2 Hondas. Japanese manufacturers going at it right now. And Ott, once again, he is supreme. He is supreme through that, obviously, penultimate turn. Johnny's going to have a look up the inside of Matt Devine in the first chicane. Thinks better of it, but that gives Ott an opportunity going into turn 3 if he can keep it straight, which he doesn't. And Foley now, he's on the back of David Keane, up ahead, as we can see. So he'll be looking to get in front of obviously Keno as soon as possible to try and give himself the best opportunity, the most amount of time to close that gap between himself and Dwayne Davies. He's going for it. They've both run a little bit wide and he's got it. Oh, as you see, one of the Toyotas in the back there. Matt Devine gets a bit hairy, but he holds on to it. Well, now they're all together, so Foley at a scruffy final sector, and now they are all together on the racetrack. For a moment, just got to check the live timing. So you see Roadhog going up the inside in a corner. They'll advise to take it easy, and he's got the position. First opportunity of asking. Matt Devine now is struggling to keep Johnny behind him, and he's ran wide. Johnny's going to get that position, and Corey Ott will probably, well, he's going to look to go around the outside now to the inside. Matt Devine, he holds on in the braking. He holds on. Yes, he's kept the position. It's a bit of door banging, but that's all right. No harm done. So unfortunately, Glenn Miles getting lapped there. Corriott having a look on the inside once again. First chicane. But it's not really a passing. When cars run at a similar pace, it's not a place where you can pass, and well, it's not a place you can pass safely, but he has gone up the inside of turn 3. He has surprised him there, got a good run through. Bit of door banging, but wasn't quite up far enough, didn't quite get the exit, and can't quite get that position. At least at this time of asking is David Keane. Looks like Johnny's got a good run onto the back straight here. Will he be better on a braking? He has got the inside line. Both leaving it very late. And Johnny's got that done quite cleanly. So good racing there from Johnny. As we see, oh, Keno. He's been dive bombed. He's lost positions to both Matt Devine and Corriott there. So both of them very opportunistic. David Keane left the door open and he's lost out. But that's given Corriott a run coming out of the final turn. But he thinks better of it. Oh, they both run wide. They'll probably both get curb strikes for that. And Corriott takes the position. But Devine goes up the inside. He's going to go for it and gets that position back. Some good racing between these two. So once again, Corriott well up on the curbs. It's compromised his exit, so he's not going to be able to get past him this time around. So now we look at see Johnny, Roadhog and Foley all battling it out. Roadhog just seems to be a little bit faster than Foley at the moment. Last time round, 58.4 for Foley, 58.3 for Roadhog. So what's Foley going to set this time round? 58.7, 58.9 for Roadhog, and a 58.1 for Johnny. So Johnny, fastest lap, well, yeah, fastest, yeah, he has got the fastest lap of the race, so 58.0 that time was only a 10th off it. So he's quickest man on track. Let's see Keno and Devine battling it out again. And Odd's passed them, so once again I've unfortunately missed it, but Corriott has passed Matt Devine somewhere, and Keno's sort of got straight onto the back of Matt Devine. Let's go back, Matt Williams is ahead of Cracker. Matt Williams once again up 5 positions. He's quite adept at moving up positions. He does it in a clean manner as well. You don't see him in the big battle packs too often. He just picks his positions up quietly, and he's done so again. Finds himself in 8th place. Now we've got Luke Joyner, Topher, Aussie and Brendan Ross all battling it out for 10th place here. Your 2 Chevrolet Cruisers. Topher's got a good run. He's going to leave the braking very late. Will he pull it up? He just does so, and he gets 10th position. And that's now compromised Luke Joyner a bit. And Aussie's going to have a crack. And take P11 of Luke Joyner. A bit of clear air now, Corriott up ahead as we continue to watch this Aussie bar. Corriott has set the fastest first sector of the race, considerably faster than everybody else, 3/10 faster than Dwayne Davies this time around. It's now 4/10 overall. As you see, Aussie, he's got that position, he's got it done. Oh, as you see, Glenn Miles has gone off and is rejoined safely. He hasn't gone straight back on the track, which is good to see. Obviously, we have seen a couple of instances already in the first round where people have rejoined dangerously. And Topher's got a bit of damage on the front right-hand side of that car, so I don't know if he's hit anyone or he's hit the wall, but there's a fair ding in that. Now Cracker is all over the back of Matt Williams here, P8. Keno hanging onto the back of Matt Devine. So both participated in the Rookie Cup. Got Corriott 2 seconds behind Roadhog. Got Johnny and Foley. Johnny's having a look at the penultimate turn. Up on the sausage curve, so that's going to compromise his exit. Roadhog's going to, I believe he's going to have a go here. He is. He's given him a bit of a bump draft down into turn 1 here. You don't see much of this at Automobilist Australian. He backs it off. As we see, oh, Foley once again sideways at first chicane. His heart would have stopped for a few seconds and he locks up into 3. So on that last lap, Corey Ott was the fastest of the front running group. He did 58.1, Roadhog 58.4, 58.7 for Johnny, and 58.8 for Foley, while leader Dwayne Davies 58.6. Looks like Foley and friends, they're coming up to lap traffic. I believe that's Gary Neville. Or is that Glenn Miles and Coulston? I believe it's Coulston and Neville. So once again, oh, it's sideways. I've seen that a few times from multiple runners. Johnny has a tighter line through turn 3. Foley runs a little bit wide, but it would give him a slightly better run through 4. Hopefully the lap traffic in front of Foley doesn't affect him. Johnny's got a good run on the exit here. He's having a look up the inside. Foley's moving over, it goes straight back to the outside. Now can Johnny pull it up? He can just do it. He's not got the greatest exit. He's compromised Foley, and Roadhog's going to send it in the penultimate turn. Foley turned in, a bit of bang of doors there. And now Foley's coming under attack as we see Coulston let them go. Corey Ott's now right behind him. I do want to stay with that pack, but there's just so many battles up and down the field. As David Keane once again, he's still hanging on to the back of Devine, Divine, we've seen he's very, very good at absorbing pressure. We've got Matt Williams and Cracker closing in on both of them. And then we've got Topher there. He's pulled the gap a little bit on Joyner, who's still got Aussie behind him. And Ross is still there as well. Got Cameron, he's got a few battle scars on that thing, by the looks of it. So we've had a couple DNFs. Unfortunately, Jaden Draper's DNF'd, as has Big Dog, so my apologies for missing those 2 DNFs. So we've got Dwayne Davies in the lead, and Johnny is now... So Johnny and... No, obviously we did see that, but Johnny now in P2. 9.7, 8... Well, just under 9 minutes remaining as Roadhog just pulls it up. Foley is now dropped behind Ott, and Ott having a serious look at Roadhog. It's got a good exit. There's a lot of top speed in that Toyota. He goes for it though. It's going for the late braking manoeuvre. Will he pull it up? Yes, he does. It's given Foley a chance to take that position back, and he will get it. He will get it. As you see, Roadhog cut across the anti-cut sleeping policeman there. It might be a track cut there. He must have got one in the first sector as well, because his second times haven't come up for that lap, so he might have got 2 of them then. I believe he got a penalty in the first race for that, as well as Corey Ott. Oh, he drifts it. Obviously, he uses the front-wheel drive power to keep himself pointing in the right direction. He's now got Foley right behind him, but I do imagine he probably will eke away a little bit if he hasn't used up too much of his tyres. As Foley runs wide, as does Roadhog. Dwayne Davies leads. Johnny coming up to the penultimate turn. bit of traffic right now. So yellow flags up at turn 1. It's not Dwayne Davies, thankfully, this time. He's right aboard Johnny. It's Brendan Ross has gone off at that first chicane, and I do see Cameron Costa there as well, around Cameron. So I don't know if they've gone for an overtake, as you see Ross pull off to the side. Looks like he might be... Yes, it looks like he might be... Is he just letting people go? Yes, he's continuing, so it's just letting all the leaders go, which is smart driving. Yeah, the gap between Foley and Roadhog sort of eked out a little bit, as we see. Obviously Ott's just a little bit faster than both of them. He is well after Johnny now. So go back, Matt Devine is still holding on, with David Keane right behind him. He's got a decent run, but not quite close enough coming into the triple apex chicane. He's much better under brakes, as you've got lap traffic in front. Can he use that to advantage? It has balked Matt Devine, and he's going to send it. Bit of contact, he's gone for it, and can he hold on? Has he got the better exit? And we've got Aussie right there with him as well. Aussie, or Cracker, I should say, my mistake. Cracker having a look on the inside of Matt Devine. He's lost out. The traffic has not helped him at all, but Devine's now having a look at Aussie. Or David Keane, I should say, sorry. All the Mitsubishis look fairly similar. So Ross goes off in the background. And Matt Williams has dropped off the back of these guys. He's now at 9th. Topher still a little bit lonely down there. Luke Joyner, obviously the cars that were battling him sort of fell off the road. And Aussie a couple of seconds back. We've got Cameron letting through the leaders. So that traffic around this short circuit is... It's going to be difficult to navigate. We've already seen so far that it's cost some, one driver a position. So Johnny, last lap, 58.4. Fastest lap of the race. No, not fastest lap, but his fastest lap, and very, very close to the fastest lap for Corey on that last lap. 3.4 in front of him to Johnny, though, so he's going to have to be consistently faster for the remaining 4 and 3/4 minutes plus 1. The gap at the front. Dwayne Davies, obviously, he did have qualified on the front row for race 1, but he was put out of place due to obviously a mistake at the first chicane. Johnny makes takes the chicane very poorly there, and that's cost him plenty of time. That's just given more motivation for Corey Ott. So it was 3.2 the gap. What is it now? It is now 1.6. So he's lost 1.5 seconds for that. And fastest lap of the race as well for Corey Ott, a 57.5. So he's the first driver in race 2 to go under the 58-second mark. And he's got Foley. Foley's gone there with him as well. See, looks like Foley on that previous lap did get got bopped for cutting the circuit, so his time hasn't counted, but he was just as quick as what Ott was, because he might have even gained a little bit on that lap, so obviously he must have done it at the first chicane. Now these two looking to make it a three-way scrap again. Foley in this lap, he must have done it again, because his sector times has not come up. Let's see what Johnny's lap time is this lap. Doesn't say, so he must have cut the track. 57.9 for Ott, and obviously Foley must have got a curb strike. And now we've got an angry battle pack for P6. So we've got David Keane, Matt Devine, Cracker, and Matt Williams all battling it out. Obviously Keane having to get through some traffic here. And Matt Williams on that last lap was the fastest out of all of them. He was the second fastest. Oh, a bit of contact between Matt Devine and make out. I think it was, it's Glenn Miles. He's gone around. No, he's held it, but that's held Cracker up, and Matt Williams moves up to P8. So traffic is playing havoc here. Matt Williams goes defensive. Cracker later on the brakes. He's going to get a better line through the chicane, I'd imagine. lifts off there. So that little lift has cost him a bit of time. Cracker probably could use the curves a little bit more through there, and it'd give him a bit extra time. This is a tough little racetrack. So if Foley is still hanging onto the back of Corey Ott here, Foley on that last lap, 58.0. Ott must have got a curve strike because he got a blank lap time. And Johnny on that last lap, 58.0 as well. And Dwayne Davies, a 58.5. So Davies, he's got 8.5 seconds with a minute and a half remaining, +1. So he should take this race barring mistake or mechanical failure of some sort. He's just done a 58.7. Comfortable. 58.1 for Johnny, 57.6 for Ott, and a 57.6 for Foley as well, who's much better in this race. Looks much more comfortable. It's very close into turn 3 as Ott runs the much wider line. That will be a strike, I'd imagine, but that line's actually worked quite well. It's dropped Foley a bit. Might have caught Foley unawares and just he lifted off a little bit because he didn't want to run to the back of him. So, well, that's stabilised a bit. I'm going to jump back. David Keane in 6th position. He's in front of Divine. And I've got Cracker all over the back of Matt Williams. Divine is the fastest of this group. Last lap 58.8. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a gap between him and Keno. Williams is looking to, I think he's looking behind him more than he's looking in front. As he runs wide at chicane, goes over the end, he cuts Sleeping Policeman, cuts another one. That might be it's probably used up 2 track cuts there. Cracker right behind him. Topher's had a lonely race in 10th, and now we've got Luke Joyner, Aussie, battling it out for P11. But they've got Johnny, Corey Ott and Foley coming up to that. We've got Brendan Ross and Gary Neville battling it out. So Gary Neville locks up into turn 1. Ross has a look. Doesn't get it done. And Glenn Miles is there as well, but I believe he's a lap down on these guys, unfortunately. We've got Coulston, Big Dog, Jaden Draper, it's retirements. Okay, so we're out of time now. This is the final lap. Dwayne Davies, 7.5 seconds in front of Johnny, who's got Corey Ott right behind him. He's ran wide. He's going to have a look into turn 3. He goes for it. There's contact. He hits the other Honda. There's a yellow flag. Someone's lost it at the chicane. Foley could pick up both these positions should they run into each other. Davies is coming up to the chicane. Oh, will he send it? Will he send it? Yes, he does. He goes for it. Foley's right there. Foley's outbroken. They've all outbroken themselves as they all cut across the track, and Corey Ott's lost it. He's lost position as he, well, it's very aggressive on the throttle and made contact with Johnny. And so Dwayne Davies crosses the line, wins his 2nd race of the Automobilista Australia Touring Car Championship. He wins race 2 after a shocker race 1. Johnny finishes 2nd in that Demolition Derby, and then we've got Brenton Foley recovers well after his first race problems. And then we've got Roadhog 4th, and well, Corey Ott after that he tried to send it, and he didn't quite make it, and then lost out when he made contact with the other Honda of Johnny. David Keane, a good 6th place. Matt Devine, 7th. Cracker in 8th. So Cracker did get Matt Williams. Obviously, our cameras missed it, unfortunately. Got Topher in a lonely 10th. Luke Joyner, 11th. Aussie, he finished 12th. Cameron, not happy with his result, has written off his Honda. And I don't think Gary Neville's had a happy race either. Looks like he's going to bin his car as well. Glenn Miles, 15th. Brendan Ross, 16th. He had a bit of a rough run. And then obviously Big Dog and Draper DNFs. So our top three, we'll run through again. Obviously, Dwayne Davies winning his second race of the season. His first race didn't go so well, but with the reverse grid, he kept it going, and that's what we want to see. We want people not to give up. And with the reverse grid, you do 75% of the race. You finish the race under power, and it put him at the front, at the pointy end of the field. And with his pace that obviously he showed in qualifying, he was not really matched. He's not really didn't have really anyone to compete against in this second race. Once he took the lead, Johnny, he recovered. Well, he drove a fantastic race. His first few laps set him up perfectly, and then he held on with a hard charging Coriot and Brenton Foley towards the end of the race. With Foley, obviously he would be probably a little bit frustrated having started towards the back of the field and only finishing where he did, but still third. He'll be happy with that after DNFing in the first race. Obviously, we did have some technical problems with the grid, but hopefully that will be addressed in the next round. And so yeah, we've had 4 races so far, all of them quite crazy, action-packed. Unfortunately, this time I've not had anyone to help me out, so it's been a bit difficult. But we've been joined at the moment. We've had our race 2 winner has joined us in Dwayne Davies.
Lads,
how's it going, mate? Obviously, disappointing first race for you there, but that second race after you took the lead, you were never really headed, really.
yeah, it should have happened in the first race, really. But I mean, probably I don't think I had much for Corey. But then I've binned that one, trying to go slower for track cuts. But yeah, you get that. And then second race, yeah, it went well.
Yeah, I think with these cars, it's you go slower, but that makes it harder to drive when you obviously get off the throttle. You've got the lift off oversteer, so maybe you've just lifted off a little bit too much, oversteer at the first chicane, which caught out a lot of people throughout the weekend. Well, it was better in the second race, but certainly the first race it was quite chaotic, that first chicane.
Yeah, I was not taking my foot off the throttle through that chicane this time after the first race, because that is exactly what you said. But I planted it, hoping to save it, but then it just went the other way, and it was a tank slap straight to the wall. So, yeah.
But that said, obviously you've taken 2 races in this series now, so you've even though obviously the first race here didn't go too well, you've had 2 wins, so you've had a pretty good start to the season.
I had a second behind Johnny in the first race last week.
My mistake. Yes, you were up the front though. Obviously qualifying tonight was right at the end.
Yeah,
you jumped up to the front row.
Well, I made it with 4 seconds left, I think, for that last lap, and I came out of the pits and thought I'm going to get 2 laps in, but then I crashed it straight into the wall. So I had to back it out and then go again, but made it with 4 seconds left with a bit of damage, but didn't seem to affect it, so went all right.
Well, once again, congratulations. Obviously, a couple good results so far this season. You've looked much faster here than what you have been previously, so you must be pretty happy with the way things have been going lately.
I think I like front-wheel drive somehow, seeming that way.
Well, once again, congratulations, and we've been joined by the 3rd place getter for this race, Brenton Foley. So, Brenton, that was obviously starting towards the front after the grid sort of mixed itself up a little bit, unfortunately. Would have been a little bit disappointed, I feel, considering the pace you had shown earlier in the weekend, and this time you hadn't thrown it off the road, but you somehow only moved up 1 spot.
Moving up 1 spot?
Yeah, from where you started today.
Oh, in race 2 I started 11th.
Yeah. Oh, you did? The game must have made
it. Yeah, the grid in the game I must have played up, because I saw what you set and then it wasn't that. Yeah. But I started 11th. The first few laps were hectic, but awesome. I love the reverse grid races; they're a lot of fun. And then the 3-way battle for second at the end was just awesome. I was a bit conservative in the middle of the race because I'd used up 3 track cuts by accident, thinking that my 4th was going to be a penalty, but then someone mentioned they were on 6 or something and had a few spare, so I kind of put the pedal down again and went for it, but managed to catch up a little bit to the top 3.
Well, it looked, yeah, about midpoint of the race, you had Johnny and Corey sort of get by you, and it looked like you were just getting off the back of him a little bit, and then sort of just after Corey got past, your pace sort of picked up. You sort of matched Corey until the end of the race, really. So you had the pace there. It's just obviously the conservative middle part and early part of the race sort of probably cost you maybe a second place here.
I think it did, because if I wasn't conservative towards the middle stint, I probably would have had a bit more of a gap and would have been able to battle a bit more towards the end. But yeah, I got to do my research and look at how many track cuts were allowed before races.
Certainly, and obviously the last few laps there, obviously we saw Corey, yourself, and Johnny just it was a Mexican standoff. Really, everyone was just going for it, and well, you've after the contact between Johnny and Corey, you've moved up to a podium place, so you must be pretty happy.
Definitely happy with that after the DNF the DNF in race 1. Definitely made up for it for me.
Certainly, you didn't make a mistake at the first chicane this time.
Turned in at the right time that race, and I was a little bit more conservative during race 2 than race 1, just at turn 1.
And it obviously paid dividends this time. So once again, congratulations, third place, and hopefully you'll be looking to build certainly at the next round at Curitiba.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
And well, we've also been joined by. We'll go to Corey Ott first. We have Matt Devine, but Corey Ott, you're in here. Obviously, a very chaotic race. You had the pace once again to probably get second. I don't think you would have caught Dwayne in the end, but action-packed last lap there. You just had to send it, didn't you?
Yeah, me and Foley were both in the voice chat, and I just went down the back straight, and I just said, and I just asked send it, and he said yep, and I did, but sadly didn't pull it off. If I didn't hit the throttle over the bumps, I would have had it, but yeah, it was I think even though that did happen, I would have lost the position due to the fact that I basically shoved myself into the position, cut the course, and kept it. But no, P5's not too bad after what happened there, starting basically second last. So it was a very, very chaotic start of the race. Middle of the race was a bit meh, and then the last lap just kicked off. So yeah.
Well, that first lap, well, the first couple laps, you moved up. Both you and Johnny sort of carved your way up through the field. How did you find, obviously, starting at the back of the field like that?
Oh, it was very exciting moving through the field compared to what happened in race 1. But no, it's yeah, I was really expecting a lot of a big accident happening under the going under the bridge, but it didn't happen. Well, I think once they're 3 wide coming out of the out of the chicane after the bridge, but no, it was very exciting times.
Yeah, there were one or two. Yes, people were having a look, and I think there was one or two overtakes in that corner during the race. Obviously, not with you, I don't think, but was a bit chaotic. So obviously, you missed the first round, but you've had 2 very good races here today, so you'll be looking fairly decent in the championship. Do you believe, obviously, with the pace you've shown today, that you can fight for the championship?
Oh, these cars they're amazing. They're like, yeah, they are front wheel drive. It sounds a bit, doesn't really sound good, but once you race them for a bit, like they are so exciting to drive. It's just, you can bump someone a little bit, and it doesn't affect the car as much as like GT3 or whatever. But this is fun. I might stay here and go for a championship.
Great to hear. And once again, congratulations, obviously, on your first race win in race 1 and fifth place in race 2.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and obviously Matt Devine is obviously jumped in as well. Matt, so bit of an interesting race there. Battle pretty much throughout there, but lap traffic sort of caught you out a little bit at times as well.
Yeah, look, I'm finding these cars really difficult to drive. I'm lucky to finish where I did. Yeah, and Kino sort of got in front of me, and I tried to stay with him, but I just had nothing for him. But yeah, these cars are really difficult to drive for me. I don't know, I just can't find my little niche with them.
Yeah, obviously you had, well, that obviously being front wheel drive, the lift off oversteer probably is something a lot of people aren't quite used to. So instead of obviously you lift off the throttle and you go to turn in and expect the car to be nice and smooth, they do tend to snap around a bit. But obviously you had once again battle resumed with you and Keno. Obviously you had, I believe you had one or two battles in the Rookie Cup. But again, you sort of absorbed a lot of pressure in the early part of the race, and is there something you focus on or you don't focus on your mirrors when you've got someone behind you? Because he was there for a long time.
Oh, look, I'm aware that they're there, and I mean, I just try. It's just a game of chess, really. Just try and counteract their move. I guess I don't really get pressured all that much. I mean, if I know that I'll be right for the corner, then I'll be right, and if I know that I'm not going to be all right, I'll usually back off. But no, I don't really feel the pressure all that much, to be honest. It's more if I'm behind someone and I see them skating up the road, that's when pressure starts coming down. That's when I overdrive the car a little bit, and then I know that I'm a shot duck kind of thing, and don't catch them.
Oh, fair enough. Obviously, I'm trying to think where you finished there. P7, I believe, in race 2 there. So
Yeah.
not too bad.
No, I think I started 15th or 14th or something. So it's not too bad, but it was a fair bit of carnage at the start of the race, and I hit Brenton off accidentally. So I readdressed that, sort of coming up the back straight, and then me doing that lost 2 positions through that as well, 3 positions.
Yeah, well, it's better, I guess, to do that than give yourself obviously a disadvantage at the next race with a penalty. So it's good to see. Obviously, we saw a few drivers readjust positions at the end of race 1. I believe Topher did the same thing. So once again,
He did with me. Yeah,
yeah.
he snapped into me and then let me go. Yeah.
So obviously, congratulations. Well, sorta, I guess, for P7.
No.
So you're obviously looking to build. What's obviously the biggest problem you have with this car? Do you reckon?
I think it's the front end. Like for the first part of the practice, I couldn't see where the corner was because of the bloody mirror. So I had to move the my view back a little bit in the seat, and I got a little bit faster with that because I knew where the car was on the track. But I think it's just the front end. It's just I might be going in too hot, but when I slow the car down a little bit, it feels like I'm gonna be going faster. And then obviously when you go a little bit faster, the thing just understeers, and then you're off and on the accelerator trying to get the thing to go in a straight line, get around the corner. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I prefer rear wheel drives, or I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Perhaps just a couple tweaks need to be made for setup, and you'll unlock a bit of obviously some of the pace that we saw in the Rookie Cup.
Yeah. Look, I think my tires were a little bit overpressured too. Because at the back of the race, I lost a lot of pace, so that tells me that they were overheating. But I'm not sure. It might just be me.
I believe a few people had that issue. But anyway, once again, congratulations, I
Yeah.
guess, on the 7th. You had a entertaining race, as I think most people had an entertaining race. But obviously, hopefully, we'll see you next time out at Curitiba. And we've also been joined by El Chief once again.
I don't know if I meant to say something here, but
how did you see your race play out? Obviously, you had a bit of a 3-way scrap for a bit of the middle part of the race, and it turned into a 4-car scrap, and then you sort of dropped away from the 2 cars in front of you there for a bit.
yeah, it was a great race. I had a cracker there. My biggest problem until I ran out of petrol on the last lap was I just destroyed my front tyres after about half of the race. So that's partly why I ran out of petrol too, because every time I got on the power, it would just spin the wheels up, and I was just pretty much on the red line the whole way through. But good race. It was a shame I couldn't get the tank to stretch another corner and a half. But yeah, we had the pace on the guys in front, which was Devine. I've got that right now.
Damn straight.
Quiet, you, my interview. and I can't remember who else. David Keane, that's the one. And yeah, we weren't catching them for a bit, but then I'd make a mistake and Cracker came through. Then we hit Traffic, who I think made contact with Cracker, and
Yeah,
yeah,
sort of.
that got me that spot back. But got a bit messy towards the end there as we were lapping people, which wasn't great, but it helped me out till I ran out of bloody petrol.
Yeah, obviously, this being a very short and tight track, traffic was a bit of an issue for everybody. It wasn't the lap traffic's fault, it's just obviously the characteristics of the track sort of made it
Yeah,
difficult.
it was just a case of wrong place at the wrong time, really. Like, no one's at fault for what I saw with Cracker and whoever we were lapping. It's just one of those things that happened.
Yeah, obviously, that's all I have to say or ask for you right now, unless there's anything else you want to bring up.
That's all I've got for during the broadcast.
Fair enough. Obviously, I'd like to thank all the participants today. Obviously, a lot of action. Hopefully, next time I've got a co-commentator because I bloody well need it. It's too much going on for one person, and hopefully my OBS settings are correct. Well, they should be correct now, and hopefully I don't have any issues going forward. But once again, thanks for those that tune in now and those that tune in later. Congratulations to Coriot on his first win, and congratulations for Dwayne Davies for obviously taking out race 2, and we will see you next Monday night at Curitiba for round 3 of the Australian Touring Car Championship. And from myself, Lewis Wedding, have a good one. All right, we're done.
So I've already got about